One of the messages we wanted to share to other educators was that our classroom looked very different 3 years ago when we first began our journey with FDK. This has been a real evolution. It's been a transformation, and year after year it keeps evolving and improving.
When I first worked with Joanne, and now we've, I guess, work together really well, and listen to each other's ideas. And as we listen to each other's ideas and the children and the kids in the classroom, we realize that changes need to be made to better improve the classroom, and so that the kids could have a better environment to learn in and to be really engaged in. And so our room, from the beginning of the first time we worked together 3 years ago and now, has changed, and it continues to change.
So this is an example of one of the transformations that happened in our classroom. When we first began here at Bond Lake, this was always our math area. However, it was very brightly colored. The posters that we had on the wall had numbers on them. They had the shapes created. Students didn't really look at them or use them very much. We decided to neutralize the space. We put some of the materials in transparent jars so that they could see what was inside. We also had wicker baskets that reminded them of home. It was very accessible for them. At that time, we had a large table. As beautiful as we thought the space was, and as inviting as it was for math, the children weren't really coming to this space. And that provided attention for us as a team, for the reason that we were very puzzled as to why they weren't coming when we've made all of the changes that we've been reading about. So I guess it's about really knowing your students and understanding that you can make certain invitations for learning and they may not provoke their interest. And so what Julie and I thought of was, what if we remove the table and put a carpet? And then you can share what happened.
And so, as Joanne said, when we had the table, there was just a limited amount of children that were coming, and even the way they were using the materials, I guess they felt confined. But as we took the table away, there were just more children coming to the math area. They're more engaged. They had more space to really explore with the math materials.
Yeah, they were able to manipulate the manipulatives by lying down and just really getting their hands in there and spreading out onto the carpet. And I guess what we learned from this experience is that certain spaces in the classroom work better or are more suitable for a carpet, while other areas like an inquiry space might be a space with a table. So this is an example of an inquiry space where we're working on a project on fairies and fantasy, or it could be an extension of what's happening here with the rabbit inquiry, depending on the day. So this gives the educators a chance to engage with the students and really be part of the environment. When we first started, we had a teacher's desk, which took up a lot of space. We removed the teacher's desk, and then it was all for the children. And then we realized we don't really have space, so we need to sometimes have tables in order to be present with the students and to document and to feel comfortable. And we also try really hard to start the year off with a blank canvas so that the children have an opportunity to really be part of the space, and a lot of their work gets displayed. So don't pressure yourselves to have the perfect space on that first week of school. Let it evolve, let it emerge. It's a very beautiful process. Although we like to begin the first day of school as a fresh canvas, we also honor students who have formerly been in our classroom. So this is an example of how we preserve history. It is a piece of work, a collaborative art piece made by the children in our first year of FDK here at Bond Lake Public School. And we've kept it up since the first year from a nature walk.
And the nature walk is through an inquiry that we were doing. So what we were doing was we just took a couple of groups of children, and we went for a nature walk. And then they got a bag, and they started collecting the things that they thought that they were interested in looking at, or just things that they wanted to share with the class. So we collected a whole bunch of things, and then afterwards we brought it into the classroom, and we asked, "Oh, what would you like to do with it?" And they said, They said, "Oh, why don't we glue it on and make something?" So that's how it kind of came about. And then so as the children were creating their own pieces, we decided to put it together as a collaborative work.
And I think it's really important that this is the focal piece when you walk into the classroom, because it really speaks volumes that the classroom is made by and for the children. And we're still part of that, but we're honoring what children are making and learning about. And finally, the last thing I wanted to share before you went, the walls are really about the students. This is from a project called the Beautiful Stuff Project, which was inspired by another school which we visited during one of the conferences, Havergal College. The students took ownership. This was a literacy and math problem, and they created the alphabet rather than us buying a store-bought alphabet. And then they've also made the number wall with their Lego Ninjago characters just on the door.